So, commentary, huh? This is my first time trying it, so I have no idea where to record, so this is me mostly just seeing what works. And since I've been playing Danny's World since the Yada update, why don't I make a video about that? Opinions about games and stuff like that. Easy to talk about, right? Oh boy, I went from making gotcha videos talking about how I played Dead by Sunflower, most consistency you'll ever see in this place. I don't know how to do intros before beginning the subject, so we'll just get into the damn thing and talked about how much I want this flower to be killed. Danny's World is a really polarizing game. On one hand, it has a colorful cast of characters that surprisingly have a lot of depth to them, while on the other hand, it is bogged down by shallow and grindy gameplay that is way too repetitive for its own good. Now, if you haven't heard, Dandy's World is a mascot horror game on Roblox that has gained a lot of popularity over the past few months. Now, I assume you heard the term mascot horror mentioned a lot recently and may be asking, what is a mascot horror? Well, the site TV Tropes defines it as a recognizable, obscenously child-friendly mascot or group of mascots. Jesus Christ, I need to stop putting big words. Serving both to the market in-game and real life, and often also existing as a mascot in-universe to market and in-universe products in establishment. Almost always the antagonist. While Dandy's World adds more nuance to that trope, it still mostly checks out with the main face of the game, a cute flammable flower turning into this and trying to kill you because you didn't buy his shitty items, like he deserves my hard work anyway of not picking them off the ground. This script is being written when the most frequent update is the Care Bears update and the Halloween update is soon, and I doubt that changes anything. It's just something I thought I'd clarify. Now that we established what Danny's World is, it's time to come back to what I said at the start of the video and the title of the video itself. Problem with Dandy's World, or whatever I end up calling this. I'm indecisive. The best place to start would easily be the gameplay loop of the game. There are a total of 3 different types of machines in the game, and you need to extract a certain amount of machines on each floor to progress. The first machine type we have is a skill check minigame where you have to press space while the arrow is in the gray box in order to get a successful extraction. Yellow for extra completion. It is nothing extra, but it's a quite fun minigame that gets the job done and keeps you engaged. Now, the second machine type we have is a skill check minigame where you have to press space while the circle is in the gray or yellow area in order to get a successful extraction. Hey, you stole my trench coat. For a game that has a pretty simple gameplay loop to progress through it, making the machines feel unique should be a top priority in my eyes, but the 2 machines I mentioned just now are basically carbon copies of each other. Both of them are just timing minigames that use the same formula but with different visuals. I probably wasn't the only one who thought about this, as the last update added the treadmill machine, which works entirely different from the other 2 machines. The way it works is instead of the extraction speed being dictated by the extraction stat of your tune, it uses the movement speed stat instead, which is a really clever idea that gives low extraction tunes a chance to complete machines rather than running around in circles until your teammates do the job for you. It also has a skill check minigame too, where once the droplet appears on the screen you need to mash space in a given amount of time to complete it. The only issue with it is that the machine only starts appearing after you reach floor 5, which is a really weird choice considering this game doesn't have an abundance of different machine types, and you should take any chance it gets to spice up the gameplay constantly. That wouldn't be too much of an issue if you could progress through the game quickly, but you can't do that considering you need to complete 4 machines from floor 1. Each floor takes around 5 to 6 minutes to complete, and the machine count goes up every 5 floors. Safe to say, for a game that doesn't have that much of an engaging gameplay loop, it certainly loves dragging itself out. Now that's the next thing we're descending down towards. Now that I talked about the problem with the gameplay loop, it's time to talk about the main appeal of the game, the characters, aka the tunes. The playable tunes are divided into 2 main categories, regular tunes and main tunes. Regular tunes have 3 health and only have access to 1 ability. They are pretty straightforward with how they play, and unlocking them is as simple most of the time, requiring you to complete 1 to 3 criteria and have a certain amount of Ichor, which is basically the currency of the game, before you can finally unlock them. While there are some underwhelming tunes such as Toodles and Shrimpo, and before somebody says skill issue, I can play Shrimpo, he isn't fun. Don't like the truth? Unlikely. Razzle and Dazzle and Connie better. Overall, these tunes are fun to play, stats actually matter, and have great visual design that sets them apart from each other. Now, the main tunes are much more interesting, as you can probably assume by their name. Main tunes only have 2 health, but in exchange for that, they get access to 2 abilities instead of 1, and these extra abilities change the way you play the character in a very substantial way. They take way longer to unlock because of that reason, as you need to get 100% research on their respective Twisted and a huge amount of Ichor. Now, in order to get research, you basically need to encounter the Twisted versions of the characters, which are basically the Sonic.exe, Soul, Oogie Woogie versions of the tunes that appear on the floors. and are the main source of danger throughout them. Now, the problem with getting research for main tunes is that they appear much, much less than frequently than the other Twisteds. And because of that, getting research for them is so much more luck reliant rather than playing the game on a consistent basis. You could do multiple runs where you get up to 420 and not even encounter one of them, and when you do, it's not even the Twisted you want it to be. The mains, sure, because you're supposed to be good, but shit, like Goop? Come on, man. The rares shouldn't be harder to find than the mains. It's like 420 is like the definitive pro floor. And you can't encounter stuff like scraps like before that point. It's so stupid. That needs to be fixed, I fear. Now that I talked about most of the main problems I have with this game, I want to give some quick suggestions on how they could improve upon the said problems. First off, and most importantly, in my opinion, add more machine types. This game is in desperate need of variety in its gameplay loop, and adding more machine types is a very easy way to do that. Admittedly, the treadmill machine is a great start. Second, make the starting force require 2 machines to complete and not 4. The early game is the slowest and easily the most boring part of a Danny's World run because most of the Twisteds are a non-issue. Being able to get through those bits as fast as you can would improve the pacing a lot. Besides, Quelver, the creator of Danny's World, mentioned potentially doing this, and she should. Please, I beg you. Third, make main tune Twisteds appear more often, but reduce the amount of research you get from them. Main Twisteds are the most engaging Twisteds to deal with as they have unique gimmicks. Reducing the amount of research you get from them and making them appear more often would still keep the aspect of them being hard to unlock endgame tunes, while integrating them more into the actual runs. Or maybe stop making generic common Twisteds a rare spot board. Honestly, Brusha was a disappointment when she was purely just a disguise for Dial. To sum up my thoughts, Dandy's World is a game that has a lot of potential. It's a unique and fun game at its core, but it needs more care and polish if it wants to reach its full potential. I haven't talked about all the issues this game has, but many of the big gameplay related problems I have with it, as it's the more important at the moment. The game right now is going well for what it is. It even won an open award at Roblox. If it isn't clear, I do love this game, and it's not something I ever expected, but hey, maybe mental flexibility is stronger than stubbornness, or whatever. However, can't wait for the Halloween update. That's gonna be cool. See you in the next video where I complain about the Danny's World story for minutes. Ugh, that'll be fun. See you then.